All right, thanks, guys. The Bears take on the Lions, 12:30 Eastern kickoff on Turkey Day. The Bears open the betting as the 3-point favorite, and the total at 44.5. And since those markets open this one up, we're actually seeing the Bears take some action in the early going here. We're also seeing some movement toward the over right now. Chicago's now -4 with the total moving upward to 45 even. Once again, Chicago open 3, now 4. Total open 44.5 up to 45 even. 56% are leaning Chicago, 66% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Lions are plus $1.75, plus $1.75 for some money line cash. Now Detroit is 3-2 against the spread in their games at home. 5-0 straight up in their last 5 at home, taking on Chicago over the past couple of seasons. The Chicago defense is allowing the Chicago offense is scoring just 22 points per contest on the road. They've also failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3 as the official road favorite. Now, scoring-wise, Chicago 7-3 to the over so far for the season, 3-0 to the over in their games at the current posted total. Meanwhile, on the Detroit side of things, they're 4-1 to the over in their games at the current posted total themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to go ahead and lean Detroit +4 and the over 45 total points in this one. And before we get into some more lines and personal leans, I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for NFL Week 12. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage with a documented record of 4-1-1 in my last 6 daily best plays. You're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to hit the pause button right now, open up your browser, and type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans for NFL Week 12. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Redskins, Cowboys, 4:30 kickoff in Jerry World. The Cowboys open 5.5, total 40. Since those markets open this one up, we're seeing movement toward Dallas and the over. Right now, Dallas is 7.5, totals 40.5. Once again, Dallas open 5.5 up to 7.5. Total open 40 up to 40 and a hook. 55% are leaning Washington, 73% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Redskins are plus 290 for some money line cash. Now, Washington is giving up just 16 points per contest on the road and 76 yards on the ground away from home. This Dallas offense is putting up just 20 points per contest and 193 yards passing through the air. Dallas has also failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 games, laying the points. Now, total-wise, we're looking at 4-2 to the under for Dallas in their games at the current line. Meanwhile, on the Washington side of things, backup quarterback, we'll have to see who's going to start, as Alex Smith snapped his leg like a twig on the 33rd anniversary of Joe Theismann snapping his leg like a twig. So with all that said and done, I think Washington can still keep it close. NFC East grudge match. Not a whole lot of scoring. Give me Washington +8 after buying the half a point and the under 40.5 in this one. All right, next game, the nightcap, 8:20 start. Falcons at Saints. 8:20 kickoff in the Big Easy. New Orleans opened the betting as the double-digit favorite, -10, total 60.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing steady movement toward New Orleans. We're seeing steady movement toward the under. New Orleans is now -13 with a total moving downward to 59 points even. So once again, New Orleans opened 10, now 13. Total open 60 and a hook, down to 59 flat. 57% are still leaning New Orleans, 60% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Atlanta's plus 510 for some money line cash. Now, New Orleans is 8-2 against the spread overall for the season. Very good covering team, amongst the best in the NFL at covering the spread, covering the number. They're also 5-2 against the spread when laying the points. This New Orleans offense is putting up 39 points per contest on their home turf. They're also throwing for 343 yards passing. Meanwhile, on the other side, Atlanta, while their offense is scoring just 20 points per contest on the road, they're also running for just 90 yards per game. Maybe that's the you can credit that to the absence of their starting running back, Devontae Freeman. Now, Atlanta's 3-7 ATS overall for the year. They're just 1-3 ATS in their games away from home. And scoring-wise, Atlanta is 4-0 to the over versus teams allowing more than 25 points per contest. So with all that said and done, I'm going to go ahead and lean New Orleans minus 13 and the over 59 total points in this one. All right, let's go ahead and slide into Sunday's games. And we are going to start off with the Eagles hosting the New York Football Giants. Now that's a 1 o'clock kickoff this Sunday. The Eagles open the betting as the 6.5 point favorites, total 45.5. Since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing the Eagles being faded on the spread. We're also seeing movement toward the over. Right now, Philadelphia is minus 5.5 with the total moving upward to 46 even. Once again, the Eagles open 6.5 down to 5.5. Total open 45 and a hook up to 46 even. 55% are back on the Giants, 55% leaning toward the Giants, 70% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the G-Men are plus 220 for some money line cash. Now, the G-Men are 2-0 straight up in their last couple of games, 3-1 ATS in their last 4. This Giants offense is putting up 24 points per contest on the road. They're throwing for 284 yards passing on average in their games away from home. Meanwhile, on the Philly side of things, what the hell's going on with them? They lost 5 out of their last 7 straight up. They've also failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9 ball games. Philly's just 1-4 against the spread in their games at the link. 2-6 ATS when laying the points, and 0-4 against the spread as the official home favorite. Now, scoring-wise, Philly's 4-1 to the under in their games at home this season. Give me the New York Football Giants plus 6 after buying the half a point, and the under 46 total points in this one. Next game, Patriots-Jets, 1 o'clock kickoff at MetLife Stadium. The Patriots open the betting as the 9-point favorite, and the total at 47.5. Since those markets opened this one up, no real surprises here as New England is taking most of the action. They're now minus 9.5 with the total moving downward to 46 even. Once again, New England opened 9 up to 9.5. Total open 47 and a hook down to 46 even. 74% are leaning New England, 71% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Jets are plus 365 to win this one outright. Now, the Jets, really bad covering team so far this year. They failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10. Their offense is putting up just 20 points per contest. They're only throwing for 192 yards per game. Meanwhile, on the other side, completely different story. New England scoring 28 points per contest. And believe it or not, they're running for 109 yards on the ground per contest as well. Now, New England's successfully covered in 3 out of their last 4 ball games. They're 5-2 ATS in their last 7 as well. And when it comes to the scoring, we're looking at 3-0 to the under for New England in their last trio of ball games. Meanwhile, on the Jets side, they're 2-1 to the under in their last 3 themselves. So with all that said and done, not really going to play these games together, or not going to play the spread and the total together, but it is a pick show. I don't take free passes and waste your time and then not make a pick. So when it comes to the spread and the total, I'm going to lean New England minus 9 after buying the half a point, but I'm also going to lean toward the under 46 in this one. All right, next game, Seahawks, Panthers, 1 o'clock kickoff in the Queen City. Carolina opened the betting as the 3-point favorite, total 45. Since the markets opened this one up, we're seeing money on Carolina and the over. The Panthers are now 3.5, totals 47. Once again, the Panthers open 3, now 3.5, total open 45 up to 47 even. 58% leaning Seattle, 57% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, Seattle's plus $1.55 for some money line cash. Seattle failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3. They also failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3 in their games at the current posted total. Carolina's 4-1 against the spread at home, 3-1 ATS as the official home favorite. This Carolina offense is putting up 32 points per contest at home. They're running for 166 yards per game. Now, total-wise, Seattle's 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games. Carolina's 4-1 to the over in their games on their home field. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Carolina -3 and the over 47 points in this one. Next game, Jags, Bills, snooze fest, 1 o'clock, kickoff, Buffalo. The Jags open 5, total 37 even. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing significant fade of the Jags. They're now -3.5, with the total moving upward to 37 and a hook. Once again, Jacksonville open 5, down to 3.5. Total open 37, up to 37 and a hook. 67% are back on Jacksonville, 64% leaning toward the over. And at the moment, Buffalo's +155 for some money line cash. Now, Jacksonville lost their last 6 straight outright. They're 0-6 ATS in that very same category. Jacksonville's just 1-4 ATS on the road, 2-4 straight up in their last 6 in the city of Buffalo. Scoring-wise, Jacksonville's scoring just 16 points per contest away from home. Meanwhile, Buffalo, they're scoring just 12 points per contest on their home field. So with all that said and done, I don't think we're going to see a lot of points in this one. Give me Buffalo +4 after buying the half a point and the under 37.5 in this one. Next game, Raiders, Ravens. Do I have it on this sheet? Yeah, I do. Raiders, Ravens, 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Baltimore. The Ravens open the betting as the double-digit favorites. Baltimore opened 10.5, total 42.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing Baltimore take some more action. They're now -11, with a total remaining at 42.5. Once again, Baltimore opened 10.5 up to 11. Totals 42 and a hook. 62% are leaning Oakland. Oakland's +450 for some money line cash. Now, Baltimore has unsuccessfully covered the number in their last 4 straight, 0-4 ATS in their last 4. They also failed to cover the number in 3 out of their last 5 on their home field. Baltimore scored over 23 points in just 5 out of their last 6, really not putting up a whole lot of points on offense. We'll have to see who starts this week. We know that Joe Flacco is still a little banged up. Lamar Jackson, nice performance last week, running the ball 1,000 times. All right, scoring-wise, both teams, they're just 4-6 to the over for the season. Baltimore 6-2 to the under in their last 8. The others, Oakland's 4-2 to the under in their last 6. So with all that said and done, I got to take Oakland catching the double digits. Give me the Raiders +11 in the under, 42.5 in this one. Next game, Browns, Bengals. 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Cincinnati opened betting as the 3-point favorites, total 48. Since those markets opened this one up, Cincy's still -3 with the total moving downward to 47.5. 62% are leaning Cincinnati, 57% shaded toward the under, and at the moment Cleveland's +150 for some money line cash. Now Cincinnati is just 1-4 against the spread, taking on teams allowing more than 25 points per contest. Cincinnati's also failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3 as the official home favorite. They're 0-2 against the spread in their games at the current posted total. Meanwhile, on the Cleveland side, they've successfully covered the number in 3 out of their last 4 games that kicked off at the current posted total themselves. This Cleveland offense is scoring 25 points per game on the road. They're also running for 124 yards rushing on average. Now, scoring-wise, Cincinnati 7-3 to the over so far for the year, 5-2 to the over in their last 7 versus Cleveland in Cincinnati. So with all that said and done, give me Cleveland +3 in the over, 47.5 in this one. Next game, Niners, Bucks. 1 o'clock kickoff in Tampa Bay. The Bucks open the betting as the 3-point favorite and the total at 52.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing movement toward Tampa Bay and the over. Right now, the Bucks are -3.5 with the total moving upward to 55 even. Once again, Tampa opened 3, now 3.5. Total open 52 and a hook, up to 55 even. 62% are leaning Tampa Bay, 62% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Niners are +165 for some money line cash. Now the Niners are just 2-8 straight up overall, just 3-7 against the spread overall for the season. They're also winless in their 5 games away from home. Their defense is allowing 28 points per contest. Meanwhile, on the other side, this Tampa Bay offense, no matter who they have at quarterback, really tend to put up some points. At least on average they do. They're averaging 27 points per contest of scoring. They've also successfully covered the number in 2 out of their last 4 ball games. And scoring-wise, Tampa Bay's 8-2 to the over so far for the year, 4-0 to the over in their games at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, give me Tampa Bay -3 after buying the half a point and the over. 55 even in this one. Next game, Cardinals, Chargers. 4:05 kickoff in Los Angeles. The Chargers open the betting as the 11.5 point favorite, total at 44 even. Since this one opened up, no real movement on the spread, although we are seeing a little movement upward on the total. Right now, Los Angeles is -11.5 with the total opening at 44, moving upward to 45 even. 71% are leaning LA, 86% shaded toward the over, and at the moment the Cardinals are plus 475 for some money line cash. Now Arizona, they're scoring just 14 points per contest away from home. They've gone just 1-3 straight up in their 4 games away from home. Arizona's 0-2 against the spread in their games at the current posted total. Just 2-3 ATS in their last 5. Meanwhile, on the LA side of things, they're 7-3 straight up for the year. They're scoring 26 points per contest. And when it comes to the total and the scoring, Arizona just can't score. They can't punch it in. So with all that said and done, give me the Chargers -11 and the under. 45 total points in this one. Next game, Steelers. I got to flip the page here. Steelers, Broncos. 4:25 kickoff in the Mile High City. Pittsburgh opened the betting as the 5.5 point favorite, and the total at 47 and a hook. Since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a steady fade of Pittsburgh, and we're seeing steady movement toward the under. Right now, Pittsburgh's just 3.5, with the total moving downward to 47 flat. Once again, Pittsburgh open 5.5 down to 3.5. Total open 47 and a hook down to 47 even. 67% are leaning Pittsburgh, 71% shaded toward the over, and at the moment, Denver's plus 150 for some money line cash. Now, the Broncos are just 4-6 against the spread overall. They're also just 2-6 straight up in their last 8 ball games. This Denver offense is putting up just 21 points per contest at home. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 in Mile High. Now, on the other side, we're looking at 7-3 against the spread overall for the Steelers, 4-1 against the spread in their games away from home. This Pittsburgh offense is putting up 30 points per contest and 319 passing yards when traveling. Now, total-wise, Denver's 4-1 to the under in their games at home. Give me Pittsburgh -3 after buying the half a point, really taking advantage of that line movement in the under. 47 total points in this one. Next game, Miami at the Colts, 4:25 Indianapolis. The Colts opened as the 8-point favorite and the total at 51.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing steady action toward the Colts and the under. Right now, Indianapolis is -10 with the total moving downward to 50 and a hook. Once again, Indy opened 8, now 10. Total open 51.5 down to 50.5. 71% leaning toward Miami, back on Miami. And the Dolphins, speaking of Miami, are plus 380 for some money line cash. Now, Miami's failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 games. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 on the road. This Indianapolis offense is scoring 32 points per contest at home, 296 through the air, 104 rushing yards on average at home as well. And when it comes to the scoring, Miami's 4-1 to the under in their games on the road. They're also scoring just 15 points per contest away from home as well. So with all that said and done, give me Indy -10, laying the double digits, and the under 50 and a hook in this one. All right, next game, the night game on Sunday. Green Bay at Minnesota, 8:20 kickoff in Minnesota. The Vikings open 5.5 with the total at 49 and a hook. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing a steady fade of Minnesota. They're now 3.5 with the total moving downward to 48 even. Once again, Minnesota open 5.5 down to 3.5. Total open 49 and a hook down to 48 flat. 70% are still on Green Bay. 74% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Packers are plus $1.75 for some money line cash. Now, Green Bay's 3-1 against the spread in their last 4. Their offense is putting up 25 points per contest. Meanwhile, on the Minnesota side of things, their defense is giving up 23 points per contest. They're also just 2-3 against the spread in their games at home. Now, total-wise, Minnesota 4-1 to the under in their games on their home turf. They're also giving up just 19 points per contest at home, so I really don't think we'll see a whole lot of points in this one. I think Green Bay will keep it close. Give me the Green Bay Packers +4 after buying the half a point and the under 48 total points in this one. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Tennessee at Houston, 8:15 kickoff. Houston opened the betting as the 6-point favorites and the total at 41.5, and since those markets opened this one up, this game is actually off the board, still waiting on the injury status of Marcus Mariota, the starting quarterback for Tennessee. So once again, Houston opened 6 with the total at 41.5. This game is currently off the board. No line for this game at the moment, but if you want to dive into it a little bit, just keep in mind that Houston is 3-1 against the spread in their last 4. Their offense is putting up 26 points per contest. Houston is throwing for 281 per game at home. They're also running for 102 a game at home as well. Meanwhile, this Tennessee offense, Mariota or not, they're scoring just 16 points per contest away from home. They're throwing for just 173 yards passing. Now, scoring-wise, Tennessee 4-2 to the under in their games on the road. Houston 6-4 to the under in their games overall for the season. So whenever that line comes out, if it's within reason, I'm probably going to lean Houston and the under in that one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And once again, with a documented record of 4-1-1 in my last 6 daily best plays on that website, you're really costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just pause this video right now, open up your browser, and just quickly type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. Please don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.